Thanks for joining me again. I've entitled today's message, Down the Desert Road. There are many roads in life that we travel. The road of new beginnings, the road of change, the road of uncertainty, the road of doubt or confusion, the road of worry or despair, the road of happiness and the pursuit thereof. We travel down these roads, putting one foot in front of the other and admiring the scenery, taking it all in. Some we wish to cherish, to stay longer in those spots of joy, laughter, and happiness. We'd long to spend a little longer in those spots, but we must continue on walking, for time does not stop or slow down. Time is like our shadow or our traveling partner. It follows us down our roads. It does not stop or slow down, and thus we keep on moving down the road, turning around the bends. Long stretches and short stretches we travel, traveling down the road to destinations and experiences, encountering different obstacles and challenges, exploring new territory, meeting new faces, saying goodbye to old friends. Up and down the road we travel. Sometimes we can have a glimpse of what lies ahead when we see a loved one sick and growing frail. We know that death is near. We know that road of sadness, hurt, and loss. And yet, even if we have walked the road of saying goodbye to a loved one or friend, it is still a different part of the road and may feel different. Sometimes we can see a little ways down the road, and other times the road changes dramatically, suddenly, without much warning and notice. On our road going past the church and up the mountain as you are going up to Boone and 421, there's a curve near one of the other churches near us called Yellow Hill. There's a sharp bend. And if you're not familiar with the road, if you're going at a steady speed and aren't prepared for it, it would be easy to go off the embankment and down into the field. For there are no warnings, no signs to let you know that there is a sharp curve ahead. So what can we do to prepare for a sharp curve ahead? Well, you can slow down, you can pump the brakes, you can take caution. You know, a lot of times in our life when we're going down certain roads, the angle of the road must be considered about what we should do. If we are caught up and taken by surprise, it's good to already be prepared ahead of time. Prepare to slow down. Prepare to pump the brakes. Prepare to take caution. It's good to prepare for those times. How do you prepare for those times? How do you prepare for the different angles of the road? Again, like it's been said, some roads you may be able to see down. You might see a little ways and try to prepare for what lies ahead. Other roads may be difficult to see. There might be an element of surprise to them. You know, it wasn't long ago when I was driving and was caught in a thick patch of fog in a morning commute heading out of town. I really had to concentrate. I had to concentrate and focus on the center line, those yellow dotted line, the yellow center line to get me through. And so a question that I have for you is, what is your center line in life? You know, the Bible, as we read it, gives us instructions. It even lays out a map for us. The Bible mentions some of these roads or paths that we should walk and stay on, and others we are to avoid. It's important that we know these paths, which ones to take and which ones to avoid. Many of the paths are mentioned in the book of Proverbs. Proverbs speaks to us from a loving father's point of view. Proverbs speaks to us from a loving father instructing a child. You know, parents have a responsibility and a duty to help guide their child. Proverbs 22 verse 6 says, start children off on the way, the path, the road. Start children off on the way they should go. And even when they are old, they will not turn from it. You know, it's important to know the roads. And I believe that has to do with wisdom, experience, knowing the roads, which ones to take and which ones to avoid. It's important to know the roads so that we may instruct which roads to take and which to avoid. The book of Proverbs instructs a father to his child, revealing which roads to look out for. Now, how many of you know that there are dangerous and deadly roads? There are dark alleyways. There are roads to avoid. We should be careful. We should be on the lookout. We should watch out and avoid the wrong crowds with hateful thoughts, with murderous intentions, who prey upon the vulnerable and the weak. The father instructs his child, saying, do not go along with them. Do not set foot on their path. It's a path to avoid. You know, I was recently watching some of the mayhem that is occurring in the streets of Chicago. So many of the youth who are walking along this path, they're looting and they're robbing stores, vandalism, carrying piles of clothes from department stores, breaking the windows and entering convenience stores, taking cigarettes and other items, setting cars on fire, burning them in the street after the hood is stomped on and by the youthful crowd. I even saw a video where a young man was shot and killed and left for dead by another young man at night. Other videos show the massive amount of guns carried by the young people. Each young man, the video showed at a neighborhood basketball game, was armed to the teeth, carrying guns that were modified for warfare, extended magazines, and guns of all kinds, shapes, and sizes. The Bible instructs us, do not be one of them. Do not join in. Do not be amongst the looting and the violence. One thought that I was thinking there about when I was watching these videos is, where are the parents? Where are the parents of these youth? Are they not speaking out? Are the fathers and the mothers not instructing their children there in Chicago? Are they not telling them to watch out? Don't go down that path. Don't go down that road. Be careful. Avoid this crowd. The Bible gives warning. A father instructing his child. How useless to spread a net where every bird can see it. These men lie in wait for their own blood. They ambush only themselves. Such are the paths of all who go after ill-gotten gain. It takes away the life of those who get it. Look for the paths, the right paths. Search the pages of the Bible. Search the scriptures. The Bible says the good path is what is right and just and fair. It is the straight path. We are given instruction to walk in the ways of the good and to keep the paths of the righteous. We are told that God will direct our paths. And it's by trusting and knowing Him that we are given direction. Are you thankful for the Lord's direction? Proverbs 3, verse 5 and 6 says, trust in the Lord. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to him. In all your ways, know him. Know him by living closely with him, relating to him personally in every aspect of your life. And he will make your paths straight. He will direct your paths. The Lord will direct as we trust and know him. We see this as the Israelites are exiting Egypt. We're picking it back up in our study of Exodus. Exodus chapter 13. We're taking a look at that tonight. And we'll see that God is the one leading them. God, knowing his people, chooses the road they were to travel. We pick back up here in Exodus chapter 13, verse 17. When Pharaoh let the people go, God did not lead them on the road through the Philistine country, though that was shorter. For God said if they face war, they might change their minds and return to Egypt. The executive director at the recovery center where I work has a favorite phrase that she uses often. It says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. It's an African proverb that means if you want to achieve something quickly, it's better to do it alone. But if you want to achieve that which will last, it's better to work with others. Here we see God choosing the road for the Israelites. God sees that the shorter road wasn't necessarily the better road for them. Perhaps you're in a spot in your life and you want to quickly be out of it. You want the shortest route possible. You want to hurry up and be done with whatever you're going through. You want to quickly arrive at the next destination. But God is leading. He's leading you. And he has what's best in mind for you. He wants you to move forward and not backwards. He doesn't want you to return to Egypt, to return to your bondage where you have been. He wants to bring you out and lead you to what's new, to all his precious promises and blessings that lie ahead. But you're going to have to trust him, to let him lead and direct. Yes, friend, there may be a shorter road, but it isn't the right road for you at this minute. Allow God to lead and direct. Picking back up in verse 18. So God led the people around by the desert road toward the Red Sea. The Israelites went up out of Egypt ready for battle. Take a minute just to imagine, just you and God walking on this desert road together. And there you are, you're dressed, you're equipped, and you're ready for battle. You're ready for whatever comes your way. And as you're walking down this desert road, you're reflecting on what all God has done, what he has brought you through, what he has brought you out of, what he's bringing you out of, and what he's bringing you to. You're walking on this desert road, equipped for battle, and you're reflecting on God's goodness and on his precious promises, how he has come to your aid, how he has come to your rescue. The stories of the Lord's deliverance here in the present moment. Here they're being exiled, they're leaving Egypt, and here the promises are coming true. They're right there in the middle of it. They're taking the steps down the road. The stories of the Lord's deliverance is now made alive. It's happening in real time. And Moses, as they're leaving, he remembers the bones. He remembers the promises. He remembers the stories of God's aid, how God would come and see them through all these things. And he remembers the bones. In verse 19, Moses took the bones of Joseph with him because Joseph had made the Israelites swear an oath. He had said, God will surely come to your aid, and then you must carry my bones up with you from this place. Here we see the Israelites moving, they're journeying, they're going down this road, they're accompanied by God. And here they walk the road together. Verse 20, after leaving Sukkoth, they camped at Etham on the edge of the desert. Verse 21, by day the Lord went ahead of them in a pillar of cloud to guide them on their way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light, so they could travel by day or night. Neither the pillar of cloud by day nor the pillar of fire by night left its place in front of the people. Here we see the Israelites are being led out. The leader is God himself. God is making the way. God is showing them the way. Oh, are you thankful today that the Lord is leading you? Are you allowing the Lord to lead you, and are you grateful for his leading? By day or by night, in good times or bad, we see God leading his people. God is bringing them out. God is making a way. God is choosing the road, leading them out to where they need to go. By day and by night, in the good times and the bad, he is there. He is leading the way. Is he leading the way in your life? Is he that center line that you're watching as you're navigating life's road? Even when things around you look hectic, even when you can't make out heads or tails about which direction, you know that he is there. You know that he is leading you. You keep your eyes focused on him. Is he in the front leading? You know, the Lord calls followers. Followers. Come, follow me. He calls out to his disciples, learn from me. Learn from me. Learn and trust. Learning and trusting him. Knowing him. Oh, we've got a good God. Oh, we have a good God who leads us and directs us. Are you trusting in him today? Are you following his lead? He's there for you. Oh, it's so good we don't have to walk this road alone. He comes and walks with us. He leads the way. Are you part of a church? Do you have that support and love of the church? Oh, I pray that you do. I pray that you do. If you don't have a home church, come and check out Stony Hill Baptist Church there in Pearl, North Carolina. We'd love to welcome you. We would love for you to come and worship with us. I pray that you have a good Bible-believing church. Thank you for tuning in. I hope that you keep us in your prayers. If you have any prayer requests, put them there in the comments below. We'd love to pray for you. Again, thank you for tuning in. I hope that this message has been a blessing to you. God bless you. Until next time, bye-bye.